Your parents bought their first home for about 2 years of their salary. In 2026, the median U.S. home costs over $420,000. The average Gen Z income? Around $52,000 a year. That's 8 years of gross salary before taxes. And that's before the interest, before the insurance, before the repairs. By the time you pay off a 30-year mortgage, that $420,000 house will cost you over $1 million. That's not a home. That's the $1 million mistake. And today, I'm going to show you the math they never taught you in school. Let's talk numbers. Cold, hard, uncomfortable numbers. You found a home for $420,000. Great, you saved up 10%. That's $42,000 down. That leaves a $378,000 mortgage at today's rate of around 7%. Your monthly payment? Roughly $2,516 every single month for 360 months. Over 30 years, you will pay $905,760 in principal and interest alone. Add property taxes, average $4,000 a year, that's another $120,000. Homeowners insurance, call it $2,000 a year. Another $60,000 gone. Maintenance and repairs? Industry standard says 1% of home value per year. On a $420,000 house, that's $4,200 a year. Over 30 years, $126,000. We haven't even talked about HOA fees, PMI, or closing costs. Total real cost of that affordable home? Easily $1.2 million, possibly more. But here's where it gets really dark. Your home is not an investment. It's a liability disguised as an asset. A real asset puts money into your pocket. A home takes money out. Every month, without fail, for 30 years. But homes appreciate. I hear you. Let's kill that myth right now. From 1915 to 2015, 100 years, U.S. home prices grew at just 0.6% per year above inflation. The S&P 500 over the same period? Around 7% annually above inflation. You are not building wealth by buying a home. You're parking it in a low-yield, illiquid, leveraged bet. And you're paying a bank $500,000 in interest for the privilege. Now let's talk about something the real estate industry absolutely does not want you to think about. The job market in 2026 is not your parents' job market. It's not even close. AI displaced 14% of white-collar jobs in the last 18 months alone. The World Economic Forum projects 85 million jobs will be displaced. We are there. The new jobs being created? They're remote. Different cities, different time zones, different countries. The highest paying opportunities now go to people who can move fast and move freely. A mortgage chains you to one zip code for 30 years. Think about that. If a $40,000 salary bump lands in Austin, but you own a house in Cleveland, what do? You either pass on the opportunity or you sell and eat the transaction costs, 8 to 10% of the home's value. On a $420,000 house, that's $33,000 to $42,000 gone in realtor fees and closing costs just to leave. Your parents stayed at the same company for 30 years. That world is dead. The average Gen Z worker will change jobs every 2 to 3 years. That's not disloyalty, that's survival. Renting gives you something no mortgage can: optionality. The most valuable currency of the 21st century. When the AI boom hits Miami, you move in 30 days. When the next tech hub emerges, you're there. Homeowners watch that opportunity pass through a window they can't open. Geographic flexibility isn't a lifestyle preference anymore. It's a financial superpower. Here's the chapter that will make you genuinely angry if you've already bought. Remember that $42,000 down payment? Let's talk about what it actually cost you, not the money, the opportunity that money could have bought. $42,000 invested in a broad market index fund in 2016, just 10 years ago, at the historical average return of 10% annually, would be worth roughly $109,000 today. And that's just the down payment. What about the $2,516 monthly mortgage payment? If you invested that same $2,516 every month into an index fund instead of a mortgage, over 30 years at 10% average annual return, you'd have $5.6 million. $5.6 million. Liquid, diversified, accessible, without ever owning a single wall. Your fully paid off house in 30 years? Worth maybe $1.2 million if you're lucky. In today's dollars, probably less. The opportunity cost of homeownership, conservatively calculated, is $4 million over a lifetime. That's the number the mortgage industry pays lobbyists to make sure you never calculate. But what about the mortgage interest deduction? The average homeowner saves $2,000 a year. That's $60,000 over 30 years. Against a $4 million opportunity cost. Think about it. And renting isn't throwing money away. You're buying flexibility, liquidity, and mental freedom. You know what's throwing money away? Paying $500,000 in interest to a bank that does nothing for you. So what's the actual play in 2026? Let me give you a framework. Step 1. Don't buy until a home costs less than 3 to 4 times your annual income. Step 2. Take your down payment and invest it. Total market index funds. Low-cost ETFs like VTI or VXUS. Step 3. Max out your Roth IRA. $7,000 a year. Tax-free growth. The government is basically giving you free money. Step 4. Build income streams that aren't chained to a location. Freelance, remote work, digital products. The internet is the new real estate. Step 5. If you want real estate exposure, buy REITs. Appreciation, dividends, diversification. Zero maintenance calls at 2 a.m. The old dream was work hard, buy a house, retire. That playbook is broken. The new reality: stay liquid, stay mobile, invest in assets that don't leak and need new roofs. Your parents' generation built wealth through homeownership because rates were 3%, prices were sane, and jobs lasted 30 years. None of those conditions exist anymore. 0. The smartest financial decision you can make in 2026 is to question every assumption you inherited about money. Because the system that created those assumptions was built for a world that no longer exists. Drop a fire in the comments if you agree. Drop a house if you think I'm wrong. Let's argue. And if your parents are watching this, send it to them. They need to hear it too.